Hi everyone. In today's episode, we are speaking with Ryan Kushner, co-founder and director of startups at Third Derivative, a joint venture of Rocky Mountain Institute and New Energy Nexus. Third Derivative, or D3, is a vertically integrated engine built to accelerate the rate of climate innovation. They uniquely combine a next-generation accelerator, committed venture capital network, a curated ecosystem of global corporations, and unparalleled market, regulatory, and policy insights. I was excited to have Ryan on the show and learn more about his unique story that began with working in the weed industry in California and being a longtime burner, to learn how he jumped into climate tech, wrote a book, and launched Third Derivative, which regularly gives away their curriculum and investor list to help others create structure to support founders fighting climate change. During the show, Ryan will share his overview of the climatic ecosystem today, where we are at, and what needs to happen to ensure the climatic ecosystem can fully support the 2050 net zero goal. He will cover also in detail how they select and support founders by finding, funding, and helping scale the most promising technologies to achieve larger, faster reductions in global carbon emission. Finally, Ryan will share how they evaluate impact in companies they support with their programs and how you can be involved in their initiatives today. In the second part of the show, Ryan will give his secret sauce for founders seeking to fundraise. Then Ryan will cover the challenges that he sees for climate tech teams seeking to scale and go global. Finally, he will give his insights on how he maintains a healthy work-life balance as a father and an investor. Ryan, welcome to the show. But I'd like to go to the second section, how do I do it, my secret sauce section. And as a young climate tech founders are always like wondering, and one of the most challenging part of it is always like the fundraising part. So any criteria that you as an investors or your fellow investors will look at to make their investment decision, and maybe if you have like any tips or advice that you could give to founders that should pitch other investors, like what works, what doesn't work, and any red flags that you could share based on your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say just at a base level, have a curiosity mindset. I talked to someone that did a lot of fundraising, and they said that it's obviously like a grueling process and the hit rate is incredibly low. But if you can enter into conversations with a curiosity to learn about the partners, how they work, perspectives on your work, I think that softens the blow. And if you can always be learning, that is sort of like my number one thing. Besides that, have your materials ready. I have an example pitch deck that I sort of adapted from the Sequoia pitch deck, with sort of like all the stuff that you need to answer all the questions, be nice, make friends, and understand that it's a long road, and it's very unfortunately, it's very relationship based. And so you're gonna have to build relationships and ask for favors, and be open to change your approach, changing your mind, as needed. It takes a village. You mentioned that, so I have a whole list of investors. There's some great websites that just like list investors, help you do some sorting. The easiest way to sort of find like who would invest in things like this, look who invests in things like that, like find comparable companies and see who their investors are and just chase that down. So, first point of order is just like come up with like a big list, make sure you have the right materials, and then use your social network to reach out and sort of get connected. And then obviously accelerators help because they vouch for you.
Thank you. Almost last question that I have for you, Ryan. Based on your experience and when you see those early stage companies coming within the program, and I would say larger than just Third Derivative, like all of your experience of running different programs, Did you notice any challenges that young climate tech teams can have to scale and go global, and how eventually you can overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, so many challenges. Like, so we look at the startup journey as having 4 valleys of death, right? And so, well, that's basically like team, forming your team. Number 2 is like getting your product together. And the third one is finding your market, and the fourth is scale. And so it's just a series of challenges, and you have to sort of love the challenges and love creating something, and that creative process, I think, really to stay into it, because most startups die because they run out of cash. And so it's just the economic reality of basically being able to work on your company long enough before you run out of money and all your teammates scramble. So I guess right sizing your approach and your timeline, and not over promising. So just being sort of like realistic about that.
Cool. And so last question for you, Ryan. How do you manage your work-life balance as an investor and a busy man like you? Any maybe 1 or 2 tips that you can share?
Make sure that I move my body as much as possible. Sorry, the audio got funky there. So I'll just start again.
Yeah.
Well, I make sure to exercise and move my body and sort of stay energized, because like emails and Zoom calls and everything like that's sort of like a reality. But turn off the camera to take a walk, do a walk and talk meeting, just sort of like enjoy the process as much as possible. And right now I'm talking to you from Maine, so that's nice. I've been basically between Maine and Pittsburgh all summer with family, and nice. That really helps. Like you're in Italy, and we're in a whole new era where you're not looked at sideways if you're working and you're not in the office. We don't even really have an office. We don't even like to talk about the fact that there is an office at all, because we're a global virtual program, and that's the reality that we exist in. And so just staying balanced and taking advantage of, enjoying the thing that you're trying to work on, which is the world.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much for sharing all of those amazing insights, your personal story, and frankly, this amazing work that you do for the climate tech ecosystem, and this really openness and open sourced, in a way, approach that you have. I think it's very valuable and fantastic, because indeed we need to have probably, you mentioned 3 or 4 Tesla a year. We probably need 5 or 10 third derivative a month or a year. I don't know, but we need more people like you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we'll share with you all the information and everything, and I hope we can follow up with you guys in the future very soon.
Sounds great.